Wanna talk about it, the rhythm of love. And as I said, welcome to the Love Rhythm Recipe, Flavor House Network's premiere show that talks about all things delicious and the parallel between food and that thing we call love. My name is Casey. I am your host. I am your master cook. And I am your navigator through this venture we shall talk about tonight. Speaking of which, our recipe for tonight will be a Peruvian steak. Now, the traditional Peruvian steak is usually like a stir fry, but me being me, of course, I took it up a notch and I decided to use some ribeye steaks, use a beautiful Peruvian marinade, and have some lovely sides that I've created. And well, you'll see that later. Also, tonight we're going to be talking about May December relationships and navigating the dynamics. If you don't know what a May December relationship is, it simply is there is a large age gap between the partners. And hello, Volvo to love. Oh, you are. I know we're not. So, where you? Okay, see, now you're really telling on yourself. Because if you said that, I don't know. Are there Tad steakhouses anywhere but NYC? I don't know. But we going better than them. Child, let me tell you something. Taz can't touch this. Don't get me to start singing MC Hammer. Hey, my sister, how are you? As I was saying, tonight's topic coming directly from the Lone Wanderer's Bunker and her suggestion, okay, which is really good. We're talking about May December relationships. And as I said, if you don't know what that is, that simply means there is a large age gap between the partners and the navigating dynamics that come with that. So what I'm going to do, and I don't know if somebody missed what we're making, but we are making Peruvian steak. Not the traditional Peruvian steak where it's like a stir fry, but using those spices and those lovely herbs and those. I'm not using all the heat, but I'm gonna use some of the heat, and I'm gonna take it up a notch. And I actually came up with a whole side that they don't make, but using, like I said, Peruvian spices and flavors, and as beautiful assistant said, inspired. So the first thing I'm going to do before I do anything, I am going to end this mocktail. Hey, our mixologist did a body good. Oh, this is just really pretty anyway, but this will go really well with the heat and the spice and the flavor of this delicious steak and its little sides. Hey, can't beat it with a stick. So let me. Wow. Now that tastes good. What is this? What is this? Tell me something good. What is it?
I call it the citrus palm bomb. It is a pomegranate juice, orange juice, inspired drink where we add some ginger ale and we add freshly squeezed lemon, lime, and orange juice into it.
That is going to be fantastic because even though I didn't do all of the heat, because Peruvian cooking is very, very spicy. They got all kinds of heated peppers, okay? Things I can't even pronounce. However, I know it's hot meal 5 alarm for somebody like me. So I had to take it down a notch. Hey, my husband. Yeah, I'm over here cooking this steak over here for you. Okay, so we were going to get the grill master to go out and grill the steaks for us. Unfortunately, we have a big thunderstorm coming. So I'm going to do what I do on top of the stove, and it will be just as delicious. And what I want to do now, I want to kind of talk about the parallels between Peruvian steak and May December relationships. It can be a flavorful fusion. So there are, marination time for these particular things. This Peruvian steak, it really matters. So what I did, I started the marination process. Actually, we did that, early this morning? And we kind of put everything together, but not to worry. I have what I'm going to cook marinating in the refrigerator, but I'm going to take you through the steps. So not to worry. And, marinating the steak allows flavors to penetrate deeply, enhancing the tenderness and the taste. Relationship parallel is this, okay? Invest in time to understand each other's backgrounds and experiences enriches the bond, making it more resilient for these maybe similar relationships. So the balance of flavor. Combining spices and acids and oils creates a harmonious flavor profile. So with the relationship parallel, I'm getting tongue-tied, balancing differing life stages, energy levels, and perspectives foster harmony and mutual respect. So you have to celebrate the differences and respect each other for whatever point where you are. So quality ingredients. Starting with a high quality cut of meat. We have some really nice ribeyes. We got a couple of New York strips because for those who don't, I'm the ribeye girl, straight up. Okay. However, relationship parallel, a strong foundation built on trust and communication and shared values is key to longevity. I'm sorry, I'm tongue-tied. I don't know why. Anyway, no, there's nothing in this mocktail. I'm just letting you. Anyway, so it's pretty much no one's really looking at the age dynamic here, with the parallels. But like I said, it's all about the relationship. So we will talk about some of the pros and the cons, and how people kind of navigate. But first, we're going to be getting these ingredients, and there are a few, and I added some. Or you can delete some. They're not really that difficult. So let me get my eyes on y'all. Then I probably will stop stumbling. Okay, so let me get ooh, I can see. All right. So see, I tell you, you got a choice. You can be cute or you can see. Okay, I choose seeing right now. So let me just get this over here. So first of all, we're going to get our steak out. I'm sorry. Remember it over. Yeah, if you would get the steak that it's not marinated, which is right next to the steak, and I just want you guys, and you don't have to get this kind of steak. You can get anywhere from sirloin to whatever. If you do a sirloin though, you can't cook that forever because it'll just be some flavorful leather. So what I was able to get, and it's a good sale actually. They had some beautiful. These are ribeyes and nice size ribeyes. And I don't pay that much for them. They were on sale. So I got 4 of these ribeyes because, kids don't eat steak. They don't like it. So put that in there. I have some meat tenderizer on there that's been sitting on it. So it's a nice brine. No, you can put that back in the refrigerator. Yeah, that's the ones. Well, actually you can because I guess I'm going to show you guys how to marinate. Okay. So we have the nice ribeyes. Also, we have vegetables in the refrigerator also. Okay. So she's going to get those veggies. You don't have to take all of that stuff. You can just, I'm going to point, because if it's a lot. So I don't want her to have to bring all this stuff over here. So you can just throw it up as I'm talking. You have your vegetables there, and I have some on the other side too. Shallot and my spices and stuff, my herbs right there on the side there with the yeah. Exactly. So I'm going to kind of turn it over this way so you can kind of see what's going on. So she doesn't have to go back and forth because as you can see, there's a lot of stuff there, some of which I will be using, some of which I won't. Okay. So you have my peppers and stuff too. Do you have my jalapeno peppers? Nope. It was right next to here. Okay. So we have a bunch of nice vegetables that are julienne. And so I'm going to take this out and let you see what julienne, the vegetables look like. Okay. So I have, of course, red pepper. So you want to cut it about like that. Now, normally these vegetables would be a part of the stir fry if you did the traditional Peruvian steak. I am going to take these and I'm going to stir fry them and season them so they can be like on the side. So it's going to be really good. I have red onion and it's cut up, like I said, like this. Okay. And then I have some green onion and you just want to kind of cut them up like this. So everything is pretty much like the same size. So we're looking at a whole red pepper. This is about a half of red onion. And this is how many stalks of the green? 3 stalks of the green onion. Okay. Okay. This is a shallot, which I'll be putting in part of my marinade that I kind of sliced up because I'm going to be pulverizing things. And then these here are those hot peppers, but the insides were taken out. You see these ribs right here. You want to take those out too because you're going to chop them and kind of get them in the mix. And of course, we have parsley. We have cilantro and more parsley because we need this parsley. Okay, and that's for that. So you can take that back.
Am I leaving it out or putting it away?
Yeah, you're leaving it out because I'm going to get right over here and make the marinade so it can sit for a few minutes while we do a little talking. So I'll let it sit for maybe about 15 minutes. You can do half an hour. The longer for me, the better, you know, depending on what it is. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay.
Start naming ingredients.
Okay, so she's lifting them. So we have some red wine vinegar. Turn your label around. Some red wine vinegar. We have, and say the name for me because I'm going to mess it up.
Ají.
We have ají amarillo. So yellow right there, yellow hot stuff.
Yellow. It's called amarillo peppers.
Right.
Sauce.
Right. So right, exactly. So that's something traditional for Peruvian cooking. Okay. I have my onion powder, which I added that. They don't normally do it. Okay. I have a little liquid smoke because I can't do it outside. So I wanted to have that smoky flavor. I have, what is that? The oregano. I have some oregano, which is part of the traditional marinade. Okay. Of course, I'm going to add some of my celery flakes because that just steps it up. The soy sauce, low sodium, is you can use that, or you can have something called tamari, okay, which is, I guess, similar to the low sodium soy sauce. Okay.
Did you use cumin?
Cumin, yes, is part of the marinade.
Okay.
And I'm going to add a little white pepper because I like that. We have black pepper. Okay, I'm hitting it with my sazon. That's just the way. I'm going to do some Casey's blessing. Yes, I am. And we have olive oil.
Yes, we do. No.
Olive oil, no. The avocado oil is for the steak because I have to put a little oil in the pan. But we have olive oil, which is going to be part of the marinade.
All right.
And I think that's just about it. Okay. Okay, we have a little pinch of salt, so not a lot. Okay, because we have the meat tenderizer on there. So let's push that stuff back. And I'm going to use my magic bullet. Now you can use a food processor, because you want to kind of mix all these things together. If you don't have any of those things, I'm going to tell you like this. Oh, I'm sorry. Garlic, minced garlic, and ginger. It's in the fridge. I almost forgot about it. If you don't have these things, you can still make this marinade. It doesn't have to be pulverized. Chop, whatever you need to chop.
Brands for anyone who.
Yes, I like to use those. Okay, but it calls for minced garlic and a little piece of ginger. So I'm going to go over here. Let me get over here. I'm going to take a sip of my drink. Oh, that is so good. Oh, listen, if this food is anything like what your drink's going to be, I'm going to be happy. Okay, happy, joy. Okay, so let me fix my dress. Let me zone in. Let me zone in. Let me get over here. Get my little list here to make sure that I have everything I need for this dish. And then we shall begin our marinade. And like I said, it's not difficult. I'm going to put everything in the magic bullet. And I'm going to pulverize that sucker. And we're going to pour the marinade on. And we're going to let it sit for about 15 minutes. Because like I said, well, put it this way. We're going to let it sit. Actually, I'm going to let mine sit overnight. Because that steak right there will be cooked tomorrow. I'm just taking through the steps. I already have some that's sitting in there. So we're going to pull it out. And we're going to start cooking it. How about that? All right. So let me get over here. Get my avocado oil out of there. Get my magic bullet. Open that up. And of course, my steak will be here. Let me just stick that over. Oh, and of course, a little bit of Splenda. She didn't see that. Okay. So, yeah. So let me get all my little seasonings together over here. And so I'm going to begin with some garlic. So you can use 6 tablespoonfuls of crushed garlic. So I'm just going to do 6 of these little pumps. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There you go. A lot of garlic. Okay, so let me get this off of here because the garlic just kind of jumped out of there and that's yucky. All right, let me rinse my hand. Okay. All right, so I got this over here. Wipe that up. Okay, so I got my olive oil. Where are you? Are you with Popeye? And so we're looking at about 1.5 cups of olive oil. And this is if you're doing about 12 pounds of steak or whatever. But the good thing about it is it's not a lot. It'll be enough to marinate it. Like for these 4 steaks, this would be the perfect amount. I don't know what they're doing. But anyway, I'm just going to put about 1.5 cups of the olive oil, which is about like here. Put that on there. I have 1.5 cups of the soy sauce. And I'm looking dead at it. It looks so weird. Mm-hmm. So the low sodium soy sauce. So I'm going to put that in there. There you go. That's a good right there. Okay, I'm going to put that in. Let me add my liquid smoke, which is not on here, but I want that. I'm doing 3 squirts of that. Okay, we got the red wine vinegar. And I am putting in 1 cup of red wine vinegar. Okay, that looks good. And then I'm getting the ginger. So they say put in 3 pieces of ginger so you can get like the little fingers. I like this minced ginger, so I'm just going to put in 3 squirts. 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. Just like that. Oh, that's good. That's enough. You've already done your job. Okay. And then I'm going to get this paste. Now, it comes in a paste form, but I got this one because it's not as hot. The heat is controlled in this. So what they're saying is they want us to use 3 tablespoons of this. So I'm going to do it. See if I'm going to squeeze it through there. You know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to take the top off and squeeze it in. So 1, 2, and 3. That's about 3 tablespoons right there. Do a little extra. Okay, get that in there. Put the top back on. Okay, and then black pepper and cumin. So about 3 teaspoonfuls of the black pepper, and then 3 teaspoonfuls of the cumin. And we're going to do 3. They want 3 tablespoonfuls of salt, but I don't need that because I put my meat tenderizer on there. I will put a little salt, and then 3 tablespoons of oregano. So let me just get my pepper because I'm going to do 2 peppers. So I'm not going to do as much black pepper because I'm going to use some white pepper too. So let's see. I know I'm going to sneeze every time I do this. So, okay. Put a little bit of white in here. Then I'm going to take, yes, see, here we go. I'm going to do some celery.
Our
okay.
lovely, hello.
Excuse me. I'm a duck, y'all. I dropped the top. I'm listening.
No, I apologize in advance if I say your name wrong. Takrika Style said hello.
Hi, how are you? I'm glad that you're here. Okay, so I put in a tablespoonful of the crushed or the celery flakes. And I'm going to wash this top off because it dropped on the floor. So just bear with me, y'all, because I can't put this back on here and it dropped on the floor. Help me, I won't stand. Okay, now let me dry this out. And get back to the party. Okay, so I dry that off. Get this out of the way. Get my top back on. And I'm adding, like I said, these things like here, like the celery and things like that, it is going to enhance the flavor. I know this is not traditional, but like I said, this is Casey style. So now I'm going to put the oregano in, and it calls for, like I said, the oregano, 3 tablespoons. They want 3 tablespoons of salt. I don't need all of that because of my brine. And I'm trying to stop spilling this oregano because it keeps, we'll squeeze that in, keeps making a mess. So I'm going to do the 3 tablespoons of oregano. Okay, that should be about it. And clean the oregano off my counter. I'm going to do just a teeny tiny bit of salt. I'm going to also do, and I didn't tell you guys, I'm going to do some onion powder. I'm going to do my sazon. Sazon is low salt. And let me get the cumin out so I don't forget. Let me get the salt. Okay, so I'm going to do just a touch of salt, just like that, a little sprinkle. So that is about maybe a half a teaspoon of salt to the 3 tablespoons. I don't know why do you need that much salt. It's just way too much to me. And then, of course, I'm going to hit it with a little KC blessing because I can. You know, you don't have to do
also
that.
says, no worries, glad to be back.
Yes.
So glad to have me back.
Yes, I tell you. Okay, so let me get the mess. Clean the mess. Always clean your mess as you go so you don't have to do it later. All right, I'm going to put some half a teaspoonful of onion powder in here. Like I said, they don't do that either, but you know what? My kitchen, my way. So let me get that over here. Push this up. Take that back. Always straighten it up as I go along. Okay, here and there and there. That way I don't repeat the process again. I'm going to do just a dash of my no salt sazon. I'm lying. I'm going to put several dashes in there. Okay, so about a half a teaspoonful of that. Let me set that over here. And then finally my cumin, which they say they want me to do. How much of that? Okay, 3 teaspoonfuls. Okay, I can live with that. Okay, so let me get that in here. Okay, so we got the cumin. We got everything. It's a party. So move all the stuff back out the way so we can get our steak out here. And then I'm going to give it a little squirt of Splenda. 1. Okay, so time to get everything up. Let me move this out the way. And I think what I'm going to do, I also want to put in this. I'm going to put in some shallot. And I'm going to put in a little bit of the heat. Okay? So I'm going to cut a little piece of this and a little piece of the green. Just like that. And put it in there. I'm going to put some of this shallot in here. Because we do highly flavored here. So I'm putting in a few little pieces of shallot I've already cut up. And I don't want that big of a piece. Okay, just a couple of pieces and stick that in there. And then I'm going to find a knife, I guess, and put that in there. So I just washed it. I washed my favorite little knife out of the sink. Okay. And just like that. And through the magic of hand washing, it's done. So dry that off. I'm going to get over here. And I'm actually going to put some cilantro in there too. It's going to give it a nice flavor. And like I said, these are things I'm adding because I just think that will taste good. So I'm going to take this. And let me see. Let's see if I cut it like here. I'm going to take it. I'm going to cut a little piece of this. Boy, this thing is not pliable, is it? Okay, cutting it the wrong way. I'll cut it this way. I'm going to cut a little pieces, couple little pieces in there. I don't want to put too much. So I don't want to put that much heat in here. So I'm going to just coarsely cut a couple of pieces. Half of that red one. Drop it in there. And then I'm going to take a little piece of the green. And yeah. I'm going to take this rib out. Yeah, maybe I'll leave it in. I really don't need to check it out. I'm only going to take a couple little pieces of the green. Just like that. So about 4 pieces of the green. Because, like I said, once you get the seeds out, it kind of dissipates the heat, which is good. Because like I said, I'm not trying to overpower people with the heat. That's not what I'm trying to do. Not at least up in this house. They like a little heat, but we don't want to be 5-alarm fire. So I'm going to put a pinch or two. I'll put 2 pinches of cilantro in here. Okay, there you go, just like that. So a pinch, as you know, between your finger and your forefinger and your thumb, 2 of those. And my hands are still a little wet, so of course now I have cilantro stuck to my finger. So now I gotta go wash them again. I tell you, it just never ends. So let me get this all nice and washed. Okay, so now I'm going to take this marinade. I haven't done the olive oil yet. I have to kind of get it all stirred up on the magic bullet. And then once I do that, I will stop the process and put the olive oil in and then continue to mix. So let me get this up out of the way. I'll stick this over here because I probably will be using it at some point again. And get the rest of these vegetables back in the refrigerator. Okie dokie. Okay, so let me get over here and put the top on. Or the bottom, because when I turn it upside down, it's going to be the bottom. And I'm going to take this. And like I said, you can use a food processor if you have it. Or you can just do this. Like I said, I would chop it really fine. And just do this and stir. Okay, let me get this in here. Plug it in. Bring that over, and it's going to be noisy for a second, but just for a second, bear with me. Okay, so now that's good. So I'm going to stop the process. Open this up. And you know I lied. I put the olive oil in here first. So I don't have to do that. So we're going to see because the last time I just put it in last. But you know what? It actually looks the same exact way. So you really don't have to do all that. Okay, that is fully incorporated. I'm going to let you guys see what it looks like, and then we're going to pour it on top of our steak. I'm going to take out the steak I've already marinated, and I'm going to get that party started. In the meantime, and I think I'm going to need another skillet because I want to saute those vegetables that are going to go on the side, beautiful assistant.
You said you would need another skillet?
Yeah, I did.
The medium-sized one?
Yeah, because I'm going to saute the vegetables that are going to go on the side. So let me get this out of the way, y'all. Okay, let me get my steak. So this is all you do at this point. Your steaks don't have to be laid out. They don't have to be anything. I'm going to show you what this looks like. Let me just get the top because I tighten things so tight. I don't know my own strength sometimes. Okay, so this is what you want it to look like, guys. I know it looks like a science experiment, but trust me, it smells good. Okay, and can you see inside? This, you see, it's loose, and that's what you want. Okay, so you just take this and you open up this trusty freezer bag, and you pour it in, all of it, every single bit of it, and it's actually kind of creamy. Because see, that olive oil emulsifies in there, and it makes it kind of creamy. So we're gonna take that. Let me hold this. I don't want to make a mess. And I'll stick that in the sink. Put a little water in that. A little bit of dish detergent, and that'll be ready for cleaning. Actually, this smells pretty good. This smells sort of kind of like a nice salad dressing you might want to put on your salad.
I mean, we don't know that it can't be. It sure could be.
Yeah, I'm feeling this. It smells good. Okay, so let me get this in here. A little bit got over there, so let's get this now. And Then I'm going to massage it in. And I'm going to stick this in the fridge. I'm going to make sure that all the steak gets kissed with life. Okay, that's what we're going to do. So I'm getting everybody all massaged in and on the inside and out. And just be a little gentle, especially when you're doing these ribeye steaks. As you know, they have marbling, kind of like in a circular motion. So you don't want it to and these are boneless. So just be a little gentle. Just make sure you get everything kissed in here because it's going to be sitting in here and it's going to get those flavors together. And it's just going to be all that in a bag of chips. Yes, it is. And yes, I did say that. And that's probably from 1980 or something. Okay, but I'm still living the life. All right, so let me get this in the refrigerator and then I'll take out the other one. And you can let this marinate overnight. I would say the least amount of time I would do would be 30 minutes. But the longer that you do this particular marinade, the more tasty it is going to be. So let me get that out. And as you see, okay? So let me just rinse this out of here. Because it's calling me and saying, oh, it needs to be cleaned. At least rinsed out. You know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, I can't stand to see this sitting up there like this. Okay, so I'm making a mess. I'm going to have to dry off everything. And let's get over in here and wipe that down. And what I'll do with the vegetables, I'm not going to do a whole lot with these vegetables. I am going to season them up and I'm going to saute them. And yeah, that's pretty much what's going to happen. So let me get over here. And I'm going to heat up. I'm going to heat up my skillet. And I want it to be kind of hot when I first put it on because I want to get a nice sear. If I had it on the grill, you know how we do on that grill. Heat that grill up to medium, hit that thing on there, and then however you want your steak, whether you want it well done, medium, however you want it, my grill master can accomplish those goals. So yeah. I just wish the weather would cooperate. However, what can we do? Okay, so my trusty skillet that I've used since the dawn of time, I will spray this because, hey, it has worked.
Oh, Miss Styles asked, what state are you in?
I am in Maryland. I am originally from New York City. I am born and bred native New Yorker. Will always be. However, I currently reside in Maryland. So, let's put this on. And let's get that over here. I'm going to heat it up. I'm going to do some avocado oil. You can use whatever oil that you have that can stand high heat because we're going to be cooking this pretty fast at first, okay? So, put that over there. And I'm going to take my top off. I'm going to put my screen on because I'm going to do my water test. I'm going to put this on high for now and let it heat up. And then I'm going to hit it with the oil. Okay, and I think I'm going to try to take my steaks out and put it on a couple of paper plates. So, because, yeah, the marinade is everywhere. It's just everywhere. It is just everywhere. And see, if you don't heat it high enough, what will happen is when you put this inside the skillet, it'll start making like a little juice or gravy. And I don't want that right now. I want it to get a sear. So, put that over here. And, okay, that looks fine. Oh, let me get my little cup of water. So I got these little things. Where did I get these little things from? I think I got them from Amazon way back a while ago. You know, you can hold sauces in them, or if you're measuring, they're little measuring cups, little fancy smancy measuring cups, and I bought them because they matched the stainless steel in here. And they weren't expensive. They were real cute. And I rarely use them, but I have been using them for this. And see, it's smoking already. So this right here, I'm heating up my skillet. I like the heat. I'm going to take it down. Now I'm going to put my avocado oil in here. You got to really watch your stuff. Just that quick, I turned away. So I'm going to put 3 tablespoons of avocado oil in here. Now that's going to take the heat down until it heats up. Okay. And I'm going to turn my hood on here because okay, that's good. It's really hot. So I'm going to test the waters. Okay, yeah, that right there is going to give you a good little sear. So we're going to hit that. Let me hurry up and get my, matter of fact, let me turn it down. Let me hurry up and get my steak out of here because I wasn't ready for it to be this hot this quick. So let me get the steak out. And I'll put, there's a lot of marinade on here. I'm going to have to take it out and make a mess with my hand, but it's okay. All right, so I'm going to get the first one in, and it's pretty big. So I'm just going to lay that in here, just like that. It's going to hit like that. I'm not putting the top on. I'm going to take it back up to a 6. Okay? And I guess I'll just take it directly out of the bag because there's a lot of marinade in here. But I want to take it up, but see, as soon as I put it in there and that heat was down low, it started to lower the heat by putting that meat in there. So you want to keep it to a certain temperature because I want this to sear. So let me wash this off my hands. And pour the water out. Okay, and I need to get a fork. Okay, I think I'm good. I think I'm going to turn this off because it's kind of regulated itself, and that's great. Okay, this is good. See, this steak right here is really big. Here lately I've been getting like the most gargantuan pieces of meat. Now, the steak that I just seasoned, it's normal size. This looks like one of those tomahawk steaks. It's so big. So, go figure. But it didn't cost a whole lot, so I'm not griping. Whole lot less money than those turkey wings I had earlier. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna leave this up. I'm gonna take it to 8. I really want this to sear. Boy, this would have been good on a grill. Hint, 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 husband. Would have been good on a grill. You sitting up here worrying about what the weatherman say?
It ain't even raining. I'm not even different.
Oh, it hasn't rained yet, but I'm gonna tell you, if he went out there and prepared that grill and put these steaks out here, it would have started a monsoon, and then we would have been in trouble. So I'd rather err on the side of safety. But since we really can't predict what the weather's going to be, because guess what? Do we really control any of this? No. So, all right. So, there you go. I think I'm going to turn it back on again. Okay, take it down. That smells good already. So I'm just taking a little look, see. Okay, that's not brown out. I want it to be like a nice char when I flip it over. So it's not gonna take but a minute for this. And then I'm gonna let beautiful assistant take over because we need to start talking about our subject. Okay. So, ooh, that smells delicious. I can't wait. That's really good. Yummy, yummy. So depending on whether you want it well done, whether you want it medium well, whether you want it rare, is going to determine how long you cook your steak. I like my steaks medium well or well done sometimes, depending, but for these ribeyes, I've been finding my husband's been doing medium well, and medium well is just a little pink. It's not raw. Okay, that means it's almost there to well. But with these particular steaks, I do like it medium. Okay, yeah, let me flip it over. Yeah, got a nice char in there. And I'm putting my fork in this, and I'm telling you, it's just going through just like butter. Just like butter. Okay. Let me wipe my stove off because got a little bit of splatter. like that. Okay. And the thing is, once you stay, it doesn't take long. Like I said, depending on what you want to do. Now, I'm gonna tell you, if you want this to emit like a nice little juice or just a mini gravy or something, what you will do is once you brown it on both sides, like you want it brown, then you just stick a top on it, and it will start making its own juices. And you can actually thicken it up. It'll be, like I said, you'll have all the little sauce and stuff you want. But I will tell you this: with the Peruvian meals, they have something called a green sauce. We call it green sauce. It is, and pronounce it for me, guys. It is called a ají. No, the green one is called ají verde, because verde means green. I said verde.
Yeah, no, I was just saying it again. I thought you were just talking about this.
No, not the amarillo. Amarillo.
I wonder what Aki stands for. What's that?
I don't know what ají stands for, but I had to go on Google and learn how to pronounce it because I wanted to be politically correct. Okay, because I could have just said green sauce, but green sauce can mean anything. Okay, it doesn't have to be a Peruvian green sauce, right?
Right.
So, okay, can you take over with this beautiful assistant?
What do you want me to do?
Yeah. I want you to take this. You're gonna flip it, okay, and you're just gonna let it cook, for another cup. You're gonna flip it twice. That's it, because I don't want it well done. I just want to make sure that it's just a little seared, and then you can put that one over there and let it rest, and then we do the next. Okay, so let's get down to the nitty gritty of what we were talking about today and what the subject is. So, May, December relationships, navigating the dynamics. So, people in these relationships, they feel like age is just a number, but life stages do matter. What stage you are in life, it does matter. Because, okay, for instance, I'll give you a perfect example. My husband and I are about a year and a half apart. Our experiences and our stages of life are, pretty much there. If I start a sentence, he can finish it. If I sing a song, he knows what it is. If I talk about a show, he's been there. So we have that bit of compatibility. However, if you have a May, December relationship and say the person is 20 or 30 years older than you, that's a whole nother generation. That's a whole nother dynamic, which I'm not saying that it may not be compatible, because you're going to make it that way by learning things about each other. So while love knows no age, the differing life stages can present challenges if you're not interested in knowing this person, everything about them, and embracing them, and vice versa. Okay. One partner might be building a career while the other partner is considering retirement. So like I said, different life stages. Aligning the life goals is going to be very, very crucial. And communication is the key. Open and honest discussions about expectations of the relationship, where you want to be, where you're trying to go. The younger person may be looking at, hey, I'm gonna finish my career and I am going to have children. The older person may have been there, seen that, done that before. So these things need to be discussed before you move forward to talking about longevity and a committed relationship. You need to know where your heads are at. Okay, so future plans can change. Like I said, take it from 26-year-old me. Okay, when I was 30, I didn't think about what was going to happen to me when I was 26. Okay, so the way that things happen to me is going to dictate how my life stage is going to be. Whereas if I have somebody who's 30 years younger than me, they may not have to worry about arthritis. You know what I'm saying? So there are things like that you have to take into consideration. It's not just about the love. Let me check my state. Hold on for a second. Okay. All right. So we got to get.
Don't mess with it. I just fixed it.
Okay. Yeah, I see a lot of smoke. I'm trying to get some of the smoke down because it's getting pretty smoky in here. However, so back to what I was saying. So you have to address topics like, I'm sorry.
You want to crack a window?
Oh yeah. You want to address topics like finances and family planning, like I was saying, whether you want to have kids or not. If that person may already have kids and they may be grown, they may not want to start all over again with little babies and things. So what I'm saying is, don't go into a relationship, or even not even May December. Don't go in any relationship not knowing the expectations of the other person. That's the bottom line, and that's going to prevent a lot of misunderstandings and discord in your relationship. With these type of relationships, like I said, they're going to have to embrace each other's world. I may not be able to understand that you used to listen to music on something called an LP or a 45. I bet you younger people don't. I went in my job and I asked the young people, do you know what a 45 is? I heard a gun. I heard a type of beer. No one knew it was a little record that went on a record player, So you really have to be intentional. I'm never going to say, like I said, what works for you works for you. But you have to be mindful of these little details and not just head right in there and then get disappointed. Okay, so learn something about, the younger party, because that's going to keep you relevant. And the younger party can get some wisdom from the older party, because that's going to keep you steady in the direction that you need to go for the future. Okay, so you get a glimpse of what it's like. Okay, then health concerns and energy differences. Okay, now I'm not going to even tell that lie, because I'm going to tell you like this. At my 26 years of age, I think I have more energy than most 30-year-olds. Okay, because I keep going. I don't stop. But, hey, I do have pain. I do have all those things that a 30-year-old may not have. This being said, when you have a relationship where there are those big age differences, your body is having changes, going through changes that somebody of that age. Oh yeah, you said I got you. You said you recommend not getting together with someone who is significantly older or younger unless you have major things for real. And then I don't mean just a couple of stuff. I don't mean, guess who's coming to dinner? Deborah Huckabee. Hey. You're absolutely right. Okay. I don't mean like simple things. Okay. Like, okay, hey, I like the way you look. Because there's some really good, sturdy looking older people, and there's some, I'm saying, they don't look that different in age. But you got to stop dealing with the physical and deal with the mental and deal with the emotional and see if you in sync. And that's just not for these older, younger relationships. I'm talking about just for your relationships, because many people get into relationships with people in their same age bracket and they don't know a doggone thing about them. There you go. It isn't. Okay, let's check this. I think I'm going to take that out. Okay, but I think that
really
be out.
It's only 130 degrees.
Okay.
At 155.
Okay. I'm just anxious because my house is getting smoky. Okay, so, but anyway, so back to what I was saying. The information as far as addressing health. I have a perfect example. Okay, you meet this person, say you're 30-ish. Okay, this person is 60-ish. Okay, they're real virile. They look like they're doing the thing, and they really keeping their health up. However, age be aging, life be lifing, and sometimes things will hit you. As you get older, your immune system it starts going back or reverting back to how sensitive things were when you were a young child. Okay, so COVID is may hit you different than COVID is going to hit your 35-year-old mate. They may be able to shake it off. You, on the other hand, you may end up in the hospital. You can get shingles, okay? Your 30-year-old mate may not have never even had chicken pox because they're so young they had a vaccine for it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying you may be put in a situation at your 60-something-year-old age where you have to be dependent upon your 35-year-old who's used to you bungee jumping and going and doing this and that, on a regular. Now you can't. So the dynamic changes. I think people need to understand that every relationship has a sense of evolution. Okay, whether you're older, younger, or whatever. But when you have these age gaps, that evolution may take place a whole lot sooner for the older person than it is for the younger. So the younger person needs to understand you may very well end up being the caretaker for this person that was so virile that you love this. But that can happen, I'm going to tell you, even if you're on the same age. Because if something happens to your mate, irregardless, you need to be ready to get in there and do what you need to do. And a lot of people aren't. Okay, you said you don't understand why celebrities want to date young people.
Hold on, before you get in there.
Okay, look at that. Do y'all see this? That's a beautiful steak. So what we're going to do, we're going to let it rest. So beautiful assistant is going to put some foil on top of here and and boy, can I wait to taste it. Beautiful assistant, if you could put a piece of foil on here, I'm going to close this up. Okay, because this is not enough. You want to let your steak rest because that's going to help the juices distribute throughout the meat. And when you cut it, it's going to be fire. So if you can put another little piece on there, thank you. So she's doing the same thing, and you want to put that wire on it. She's doing the same thing with this next steak because the marinade has kind of thickened up on it. So you have so many different directions to go. If you want to now take those vegetables and stick it over there once it gets brown like that, you can have a nice little gravy. And if I had smell-o-vision, oh baby. Anyway, so back to what I was saying. So that health thing, I've seen that happen. I've seen it happen where the younger person ends up being the caretaker of the older person. It causes a lot of strife in the dynamic because the older person, a lot of people have issues with getting older. And so this is just a reminder that, I'm in my December and you are in your May, you springing forward. And I'm kind of here about, and I'm not saying they won't live to be 100, but the dynamic is going to be different. I don't care what you say. Now you have some really mature, younger 30 people younger people. However, they will never have the same experience that you have had because at 60-something, you're a baby boomer. And what is a 30-something-year-old? What are you guys?
Millennials.
You are millennials, okay? So it's a whole different thing. And even my children who were raised by a baby boomer, and they are kind of that they know the old head thing. Their emotions, however, they can flux between the two. A lot of older people like myself, we get stuck in our ways. We don't understand to be relevant. We have to be able to change and to pivot with whatever's flowing. Doesn't mean that you got to leave all that you've gained behind and not recognize it. It simply means you add on and you add on. And that's how you stay relevant. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you have to do. And as an older person, you have to do that. You can't sit up here and say, I'm just going to rock in this chair and I'm just going to live in the past and let me put on some Al Green and I don't want to hear nothing about what's the girl that does the water dance.
Oh, God.
Okay, somebody, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to stay relevant because this younger person you have here, a lot of times you will see the younger person act very, very, very old and kind of negate the things that they may involve themselves so they almost dim their lights in order to fit in with that person because they love them. And sometimes the older person will allow that light to dim because they can't keep up, so that can be an issue. Or it can be vice versa. This older person is trying their best to keep up, but they really can't. So you have to understand that dichotomy, okay? And as long as you're both on the same page, guess what? It's going to be copacetic. So, financial planning, that's another thing. Okay, older person is planning for retirement. They probably got a 401k, a pension, whatever, or not. They know Social Security is going to be limited, okay, because it's just a portion of what you're making when you're working. Hopefully, you have other retirement dynamics in place that'll help you live the lifestyle that you are living when you're working. But I'm going to tell you, honey, a weekly pay or bi-weekly paycheck is a whole lot different than a Social Security check once a month in a portion. So when you meet this person 33 years or 30 years younger than you, and y'all get together and, hey, you may be flying high and y'all can travel and you do all this stuff, then you retire and you're on a tight budget, that can change the dynamics. That can be an issue with that relationship because they went in there thinking that we're going to live like this and this is what's happening. I want to have kids, and you like, okay, I can't afford no child. So it's a whole lot of things people need to think about, and not just like Miss Styles was saying, okay, not just what they look like or you're attracted or whatever the case may be. You have to look into the future and see how you are really kind of project to see how you might react, and you really don't know until it happens. Okay, like I said, in just relationships where the ages are closer to, but sometimes it does cause an issue because your experience, you may feel sympathy for that person, but you can't feel what they feel. Me at this point in my life, I'm on overdrive because I know, hey, it's the circle of life. You're born, you live, and you go. That's the way it is. We're not stopping it. I don't want to go quickly. No, I don't. But I know that I got this much left, whereas a 30-year-old may have this much left. We never know when it's time to go home, okay? Because a 30-year-old could go before I do. However, the chances, the statistics kind of say that's not going to happen, hopefully. And you have to be prepared for those things. So, like I said, I have seen situations where the younger person will kind of act really old to fit in with the older person. The older person may try for a while, but I'm going to tell you, you can't keep it up forever. You're going to have to come to a mid ground. If this person wants to go here, there, every way, bungee jump and skydive, and, we got to go out every single night to dinner. We got sometimes, because I'm going to tell you, for my husband and I, which I love, love, love the fact we are on the same page. We are straight up homebodies. We have the opportunity to go places and stuff like that. And we have gone and we sit and look at each other like, oh, you ready to go home yet? Why? Because we've made our comfort at home. When I'm done with this, guess where I'm going? Right upstairs with my husband. We're going to watch a show, do our head nod, and probably will say, see you tomorrow. But that is what we enjoy, because when we were together and we were younger, we did the things that young people do. Okay, so again, you want to also build a social circle. Now, you're going to have older friends that may have an older spouse or mate, because he does. Or he may be, or she may be a person that has a whole bunch of young friends. You may have a bunch of young friends. You don't know how your friends, a lot of times these relationships can be damaged by outside entities. You know what I'm saying? Your family, your friends. Oh, she way too young for you. Oh, he's way too old for you. Or what, vice versa. Ultimately, and I will say this and I will say it again, whatever works for you. Whatever works for you, boo, do. Okay? But just know that it's not going to be the same as, with someone that really, really gets it. Okay? That gets it. And I have seen it often too. And, I'm not just going to say men, because you have women that are dating or with men or whatever, or partners who are much younger than them. But you have to realize, and they may really have a care for each other or whatever. At the end of the day, there are big differences, and you're going to have to make probably a little bit more concessions than somebody if they're on the same playing field as you. But doesn't mean it's impossible, because it has to be intentional. You intentionally went into this relationship, and you intentionally need to navigate it in a way that's going to be befitting to both parties. So it's a whole lot of give and take in that. You got to keep the spark alive. So when you engage in activities, you want to engage in things you both enjoy. You don't want to have an older person want to sit there and go fishing all day long and just sit there and watch the water go by. And I may want to take a walk around the park. I may want to have a picnic. You can do both things. Hey, I may want to go out dancing. Arthur says you can't. You're going to have to make concessions. So if he wants to fish or she wants to fish and she's older and she doesn't want to go to the club or go dancing or whatever, hey, like I said, you can fish and have a picnic. Have a romantic picnic while they stick the pole in the water and never catch anything. However, you're doing it together, and it's something that you both can enjoy. Then take a walk, because you probably could stick that pole or make it stationary, ain't catching nothing no way. So go for a little walk. come back. Maybe you'll have something there. But the thing is, you always have to be flexible and open. And again, that should happen in just any relationship, but even more so intentionally in relationships where there is a big gap. Also, like I said, preparing yourself, because I'm going to tell you, as you get older, a lot patience goes away. A lot of things that you put up with or had to put up with when you were younger, you got that ain't that kind of party no more. You know what I'm saying? So a younger person may not understand. An older person may not understand why with a younger person's perspective. Like I said, you're gonna have continual work. You're gonna have to understand your whole way of doing things, your life, all of those things may change at the drop of a hat, and you have to be ready to step up to the plate if you want to continue and have longevity. Anybody got anything they think? Okay, you say, it's not just celebrities. I'm telling you, it's just people in general. I think a lot of times, at least for celebrities, and this is just my opinion, it's about the look. I often admire celebrities like Denzel Washington, who has been with his wife before he was Denzel Washington, and they have held it down, and they are just like a regular couple. It's just his job as an actor. You know what I'm saying? But then you have those people who just kind of, and these people are these kind of people before they get famous. They just have an easy way of doing things now that they are famous. So let us not get it twisted. People don't get twisted because they become famous. People are already twisted. They just don't have the arena to put it in place until they get that money and that fame. So yeah, people are in the headspace. I gotta have somebody look A, B, C, and D way or whatever. And younger, youth is something that is revered. But you need to understand, youth is revered, but wisdom is forever. So there are pluses and minuses to both. And that's the truth. Okay, what we doing over here with our steaks? Why we have time on
because it was trying to let it steam.
Okay, yeah, we have some really thick steaks, and like I said, I have two different types. I have a couple of the New York strips because I have people that like that. I like the ribeye. So which one is that?
This is the other ribeye.
Oh, that other ribeye was another humongous. I'm telling you, these steaks are on steroids, y'all. I'm telling you, I would hate to see the cow it came from. However, they're going to be delicious. Okay, so that's the second one. Is it almost done?
Yeah, it's actually done now.
Okay, so we're going to take the second one out. We're going to throw it on. We may be able to put those. Oh, that one. I think I want that one. I love it when it's really, really charred. Oh, baby, it's so good. Now we're going to put the New York strips in, and I think that they're going to be able to fit in there together. What do you think? We're going to be able. Yeah, she's going to put those together. So it's taking no time for this to happen, especially when you've done your prep work. Yeah, we didn't get it outside, but boy, I got enough smoke in my house. You think it was a grill. And I put a little bit of liquid smoke in there, so it gives it that smoky taste. You have to know how to use the liquid smoke. Don't do too much, and make sure you have enough of the, other seasonings and stuff to really make it just really taste good. So she is letting that steak rest. She's going to do the other two. And once those get ready, then we're going to plate these puppies up. So I say this. What do you guys think about these May December relationships? I see what Mrs. Styles has to say over there. And hey, I can agree with some of that stuff. Me personally, I don't think you would never have to be able to call me what they say, quote unquote, a cougar. Really. Because every young guy I see, I look at them as my son. I'm just being real. And it wouldn't be appealing to me, And for me, I'm just saying, if anything were to ever separate me from my husband, I just, I hang out there by myself, y'all. And I probably do 7 days a week YouTube so I can keep myself company with you guys. Because relationships are a lot of work. They really are. And I ain't got all that energy anymore. Really. I'm 26, but I'm an old 20. Listen, building a relationship and keeping it going and keeping the spark alive and doing all these different things and understanding that what you did when you were 20 something, it's not going to be the same. Okay. But it doesn't have to be bad. It's just going to be different. Different doesn't always have to be bad. What you say, Cosmic King, you have a rule for yourself. I date no more than 3 years younger or older. And see, you're better than me because, see, right there where I got it, maybe the two, it's like, yeah, because you really need to be able to relate to it. I tell you, it is so fun when my husband and I do have some free time where we could just like relax or lay back. And we have like the same, well, we've been together so long, that may be it too, but the same kind of thought pattern about certain things. And so it really is fun when sometimes we're like in the car and he has all of these old songs on here. I mean, really, he can songs that were beyond him, and we could sing them together. It's just like when he comes down here and he'll start singing something and we're thinking the same stuff. It's a lot. It's fun, but you can have the same thing if you have that gap. You just have to work at it, and you have to learn things about each other that you might not necessarily want to learn or had to learn if you just had somebody, closer to your age. This drink it is so delicious. I am telling you. I cannot wait. I can't wait for this food. Oh, I'm sitting here and we are just cooking steaks and cooking steaks. You're going to cover that because I need to get over here to do the vegetables. I need to do the vegetables, guys.
Well, I don't want to cover it yet because I want it to sear.
Okay, so move that over. She got to give me a little space because I got to get the vegetables done, y'all.
All right.
Okay, so I'm going to get over here. I'm going to turn it up a little.
There I am.
So she's doing the New York strip, and I may have to steal some of that, but let me get over here. I know I'm talking all this trash. I'll probably eat a couple of beats of the thing. No, they won't, because I'll have to smack them if they touch my steak. Okay, so we have the steaks over here. Yes, and I put it right there. Okay, so let me get over here. I need to wipe my stove down because you need to put the screen on, beautiful assistant, because you're getting oil everywhere. Okay, let me just wipe it because here I come and I'm tripping because I see food stuff everywhere. And so let me just wipe this over here. I'm going to get this small skillet because my husband likes all these little veggies with his steak, so he's really going to like it, that I'm seasoning them up and I'm going to mimic grilling it up, I guess, on here. I'm just going to sweat them a little. I'm not going to do a whole lot to them. I'm not going to char them, but I am going to season them. So let's turn this on. Okay, put it on 9. I'm going to use some of this avocado oil just to, let it do its thing. It's just let it get hot. Let's put the top. And I'm going to do some seasonings on here. I think I'm going to put a little bit of some the minced garlic in there too. So what do you guys think? Okay, you can't, I guess you can never say never, but for me, I can say never. That's not something that appeals to me. I know people that it does appeal to, and hey, if you can navigate it, that's fine. Like I said, if it makes you happy, you just need to be aware of the pros and the cons.
Yeah, as long as you come into the situation knowing what you're getting into.
Yeah,
because it's gonna add a new layer of possible challenges.
Yeah, it could.
Both inside and outside of your relationship.
Yeah, it could.
But if y'all can figure out how to navigate that, it could
yeah, and if you don't allow outside entities to intrude, then hey, you gotta fight the chance. But like I said, that is with any relationship. You can't let outside entities influence what's happening with you. Because at the end of the day, no one knows really what happens in a couple's life except for that couple. They really don't. So I'm just putting a little bit of avocado oil and I'm kind of swishing it around. And there's some water on the bottom of this pot. So let me get it here. Move that over. I am going to put this. I'm going to get a little bit of celery. I am going to do some Casey's Blessing. I'm going to take some of my herbs over here. I put I'm just supposed to be, I got to season it up. A little bit of black pepper, and I will take some of the onion powder and get that in there. So the first thing I'm going to do is I will do the red peppers because red peppers take a little bit longer to kind of wilt because we have so much flavor going on with this meat. So let me get all my peppers and get those in there. Okay, so that's a nice little sizzle. So I'm taking this whole bell pepper, red bell pepper, and just kind of putting it in here. I'm going to put that on the bottom, y'all. And I'm going to put the rest of the vegetables on the top because the red bell pepper is going to take a little bit, longer to wilt down. But I'm not going to brown anything. I'm just going to season and cover. Okay, that's really good. So let me get that. Let me get a little seasoning on here. So I got my blessings on there. And I got the little garlic. I'm just going to squeeze a little squeeze. Squeeze a little squeeze with me. Right there in the middle. Right there, just like that. And I'm going to hit it with a little onion powder. Even though we got plenty of onions in here, but different flavors meld well together. I'm going to do my celery flakes because I like them. Okay, we pull this over here, just like that. And I'm going to do my pepper. This smells amazing. All around the world, just like that. And let's see, do my cilantro. I want a little cilantro in there. And it's only a little less. I'm just going to sprinkle it into the rest of this. Don't worry, I have more in the fridge. And I need a spoon because I need to stir this around. So let's see what we got over here. Okay, so I need a wooden spoon. Where is it?
Can I get that?
Okay, let me get this out of the way. It's not in. Yeah, I need a wooden something. Okay, and it's in my dishwasher. So, okay, let me get it out. Okay. So let me just kind of move it around a little, y'all, and flip it a little. Flip that a little. Just like that. And what I'm doing is I'm flipping the vegetables so they can kind of get the heat distributed around. Okay. All right. So now I'm taking these vegetables and I'm just going to let them flatten in the pan. And I'm going to cover them and I'm going to let them sweat. And I'm going to take it down to a 6 on my cooktop. So that's going to be about a medium. And I'm going to go in here and I'm going to keep these out because now I got to take my other part. I made something called a Peruvian potato salad. Now that's not something that exists, but I created it to go along with this. So you'll see what I'm talking about. And I used that beautiful green sauce that is normally used. They use it on the chicken and stuff like that. So I made a green sauce. And I will be doing some salads that can go along with your summer meals and your spring meals. This will be one of them. It's going to be pretty tasty. So we're going to have this along with this. And it won't be long now. Just waiting for these other steaks to do their thing.
Yep,
and our veggies.
Probably have about 3 minutes.
Maybe 3 minutes, beautiful assistant says.
Well, are we going to let it rest too?
Yeah, we're going to let it rest. Like 3
minutes. 13 minutes.
To come out of there. So and then we're going to let it rest. And we are going to plate them up. Let me get this in the garbage. Okay, trying to tidy up here. And okay. Let me wash this. I have another wooden spoon in here.
Yeah, that's the one I looked at.
Yeah. Because I want to use that wooden spoon for mixing up my little Peruvian potato salad I made. And it was very simple, believe it or not. Okay. So I'm just getting it clean. And I'm going to dry it out. And we're going to do some good eating. Or as my daddy used to say, we finna chop. That's what he used to say. We finna chop. No, chop, chop, chop like that. That's what my father used to say. All right, so let's see what we got going on over here. And let's see.
All right, so our steaks are done.
Steaks are done. We're taking them out. They're going to rest. Okay, my vegetables are doing their thing. They are sweating and they are sauteing at the same time. Yeah, that's going to be real nice. Let's keep it going. Okay, let me check out my little salad here and see what it looks like. Okay, that's interesting. That's gonna be a good thing. Let me I need that blue thing so I can put my okay, so I want to put my little little spatula on there, and I'm just gonna toss this up like that. Yeah. And this is gonna be interesting. And I think you can actually do this hot if you want to, but I'm gonna try it, the cold way, and you can heat it up if you want. Huh? She wants to heat hers a little. I tell you, when she needs to heat stuff, okay, she wants it cold. Like coffee.
Hey, it's good like this.
Okay. But anyhow,
Lois has dropped in and said hello to everyone.
Hello, Miss Lolo. How are you? Let me clean
She
this up.
said I'm back from my daughter's graduation with her master's degree.
Oh, wonderful! Congratulations!
And she asked, can she cook a lamb or turkey chop the same way?
Oh, we're not doing it yet. You sure can.
You sure could.
You can do a Peruvian lamb chop. Yes, you can. Or you can do Peruvian chicken. You can do all of this just like this. I'm just taking this pan because it needs to have some water in it. It needs some loving care because this is my favorite pan. Put a little soap in there. Like that. And get up some of this oil that's everywhere. All the grease. All the grease, y'all. Okay. Thank you, beautiful assistants, for your beautiful assistance.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we got our steaks resting here. Oh, I didn't see that fork was there. We got the steaks resting. Our 2 little New York strips are here. And we have our nice giant ribeyes over here. And everything is everything. I'm going to get that fork in here. I'm going to check these vegetables. Yes, I am. And make sure everything's nice and tidy. Let me get my top because that needs to be washed too. And we're almost ready. So if you want to I think we're almost done. We can get some plates if you like.
Sure.
Has it rested long enough or we need a couple more minutes?
You might want to give it a couple minutes.
Okay, so beautiful sister wants to give it a couple more minutes for resting. And I can understand that because we don't want to do it too soon. Okay, there you are. Those vegetables look fire though. I'm telling you. So let me get that over there. Write this down again. Okay. And let me rinse this off.
Ooh, them flavors are just waxing all around.
Yeah, I know.
Good grief.
I know. I am really looking forward to dinner today. Yes, I am. Let me put this stuff that needs to be in the refrigerator back in the refrigerator. Okay, and I need you to be here. And let's get you over here. Get you over here with your mama. We're going to do you here. Oh, let me get you up here. Okay, get you up here with your family. And close that. Wipe that off. And yeah, I think we can get some plates down because we can start plating up. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Well, we need to bring the plates over here.
Okay, dope. You want me to get?
Yeah, you want to get the grill master. Yeah, that looks good.
Okay, so how are we distributing what?
Okay, well, 9 times out of 10, we probably gonna give the grill master one of the, because he's not gonna eat that big giant steak.
Right. Okay.
Now y'all know I'm gonna put the big steak on my plate. I want that one that was really. I want the one that was really charred. And I will
between the two of y'all.
I will keep eating it all day long. Yes.
Yeah, she's gonna be eating it all until tomorrow.
That's
all
okay.
night long.
Yeah. Yeah. So which one is the really charred one?
No. Probably the one on top.
I love that.
No, I don't think that was. I only put one slice on that one. That was the first one I made.
Okay.
This one.
Okay, that's mine.
Good flavor.
Okay.
Oh, can you pour a cup for that?
I'm gonna get. Okay, we still gotta wait. Well, we may have to give him. It depends on the tender of it. So let's see. Yeah, this one looks good though too. I don't know. It's coming apart. It's so tender, they are actually coming apart, y'all. Wow. Okay, that's interesting. It is so huge on this plate. I'm gonna pour the juices over it. That's really good. Yep, I'm gonna pour those juices, and then I'm gonna try to clean it up a bit. We can turn the fan off now. We can turn the fan off now so we can hear. Because I know this has been a hot mess. I've been screaming. Okay. So, I'm just trying to tighten my plate up so I can get my potatoes on there, guys. Yeah, because this is what happens when your steaks rest. What happens is those juices are just waiting. They're waiting and waiting to burst into flavor. So, what I'm going to do, let me take this off here. Okay, and we're going to get some of these veggies. Just like that. And I'm going to take them and I'm going to just kind of put them over here.
Something smells delicious.
It sure does. I had to make your plate. Okay, with some of these potatoes.
Oh, sucky now.
Okay, you see what I'm saying, y'all? Cray, man. Okay, let me just get those ready to go. Just like that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, Corey, come get yours.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but you can show the audience. Let them know about the green sauce.
I smell it all upstairs.
Okay. Corey's going to get himself a knife and a fork. I'm going to fix the grill master his.
Wow.
Let's see what you got.
Man.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
So explain what you got there. That green stuff is the Peruvian potato salad with our, how do we call it?
Ají
verde, which is a green sauce. That is traditional.
Pepper sauce.
Ooh. Well, you can't say that twice. Who?
Ají verde.
Okay, you said it.
Yeah.
Okay, so. Okay, so we got that on here. I'm gonna give you some nice vegetables, honey.
Oh, Lois said, thank you.
For what?
Lois said that Casey and beautiful assistant look stunning in your caftans. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh.
I
oh my
appreciate
Lord.
you. Oh, he said, "Oh my Lord." That's the most words I've heard him say in one.
months.
Woo!
So,
You should have said that on camera. He said, "Oh, redo." Hold on.
Yes, dude, he said, oh, he's singing that song, The Beautiful Sister was singing on them
Oh
lamb.
my God.
Yes.
There it is.
tender, juicy, flavorful. Oh my goodness. Okay. So, that steak is so tender and like that flavor is just amazing.
Words.
I need to go in again. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Okay,
Lost
yours
for
is coming.
Lost for words.
No words, just delicious.
All you gotta do a little dance then. See, you do the dances, I make the
Oh,
faces.
not the happy
We
dance.
need for him to have some words. You gotta have some words.
I gave him the most words I can give.
You said, oh my God, the steak is tender.
Hold on, you gotta
It's
taste
juicy.
the steak. You gotta taste the vegetables. Put that.
Did you taste the salad?
Yes.
I'm sorry, everybody. The steak has me. But that's delicious. Okay.
We're gonna make a real one. You next.
Okay,
Some faces
get
everything.
that knife and fork, please.
Oh, anticipation. Boy, we've been
Okay,
batting
so get
1,000
the
a
other one.
day.
Get the
Fried
other one.
turkey wings to Peruvian steak. You said this is dog?
Peruvian
Yes.
style.
Fire.
No, this is straight up. It has all of the marinades. I just didn't cut up my steak. I used a nice, beautiful steak. And excuse me, look, Corey. Okay, this is it's the Grill Masters. He
Wow.
has the New York strip
Mm.
with his vegetables, guys.
Oh, man.
Okay, I'm giving him his.
Wow.
Okay,
Yeah,
let me turn this around.
baby.
I'm gonna fix the other one for beautiful assistant.
This look divine, honey. This looks
Okay, I hope
divine.
it tastes divine.
Mm.
I hope it passes the Grill Master test because it's not the grill, but
Oh man, I'm so happy to have you, honey.
oh, see what you want.
Oh. Hey, this is the next best thing.
Okay.
You ain't missed the beat right here. This is delicious. Oh, Corey said it.
Yes, absolutely.
And those potatoes, whatever y'all call it, ahijo,
You
They
want
taste-
vegetables?
they taste delicious. Oh, you know I love my veggie
Vegetables.
de boule. That's what it's called.
Yes,
Yeah,
my
so
fancy
she
way.
just
I'm just
saying
saying
that.
that.
It's not anything any different. Okay, you're gonna do potatoes and you're gonna do
Yeah.
your stuff.
I'm gonna do some taters.
Mm.
Okay.
You know, for presentation purposes.
Whatever. Okay, she didn't want to eat my potatoes. She wanted to go back from earlier today and eat her.
Can I have some more? Can I
What?
have some more, ma'am? Some more taters. That's all you got.
Man,
You
this
haven't made that much
delicious.
here.
No. You gotta make something.
Wow,
I'm
this
good.
is
I'm good.
well worth the wait.
I'm good.
I'm like I said, I got a lot of
Mm.
steaks. So
Yeah, I know.
that's all I really care about. To be totally honest. Okay, so
Delicious without that charcoal effect.
Even more
but it'd be even more delicious with the charcoal.
Oh my God.
Okay, y'all. So
You know it.
okay. I'm just trying to plate me up something, everyone.
I'm pre-cutting mine.
As you know, I'm always the last soldier. So get over here. So I heard delicious. Oh my goodness, and
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh
Nah,
my
that was
God.
another video. Not yet.
okay, yep. This is my favorite. It's just falling apart. I can't even get it on the plate.
Mm.
Okay, so I just went ahead and cut all mine up because I didn't feel like having to try to do that before I eat. Because once I get in here, that's a wrap. But this is my
Wow.
plate.
This is delicious.
Look, it's so pretty, so colorful.
And you cooked it to perfection, darling.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah.
beautiful assistant. Finish it off.
Mm.
Yes,
A
you
little
did.
bit. Okay, so I'm gonna get a bite with a little bit of everything together.
Mm.
As you know, I gotta have the whole flavor sensation.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Mm. Mm.
A couple of these little
Mm.
potatoes. Nobody ever said how the potatoes taste.
told you the texture was on point.
I didn't hear that.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
Okay, so what I just did was a great idea
Mm.
because first of all, you have the different temperatures melding together. It just kind of makes this delicious mixture in your mouth. It's not spicy, but it has that little bit of like a zestiness or something in it, and it's so good. It's got like a little bit of a tang to it. It's very juicy, very tender.
Yes.
But that tang's not overpowering.
No.
Right. Well, I try not because see, traditional Peruvian food is very spicy. Okay, and I didn't want to take it there for my family, so I leveled it up with flavor. It has a kick, but the kick is not too much that they can't.
It's not too much to handle. You can taste the garlic. Oh my God, y'all need to make this. Y'all need to make this.
This is delicious. Yeah, this is a nice one here.
Okay, hey, Vovo the Love it took us to Tad's. And Vovo the Love said, are we doing no Tad's is a restaurant. I think that's only in New York City. I don't even know if it's still there.
That used to be our old place.
Exactly. This is her child, please. This is Tad's on super steroids. Okay, so let me taste it.
Is there still a Tad's around?
Oh, listen. I don't know, but yeah. Let me taste it. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all see this up close and personal because they're so busy shoving it in their mouths, right? Okay, so I want you to see. This is a piece of the ribeye. You see the char on that? When I tell you, now I'm gonna put this in my mouth. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they said Taz is close. See,
Oh, Tad's is close.
this piece of meat is so freaking tender. So I'm sitting here talking to you. It is so tender. The flavors is juicy. Oh, this is wonderful. It's not over salted. Every single bite is, and I'm gonna get you a nice big juicy piece. Watch this. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
oh my God. I'm making fun of Miss. I'm making fun of beautiful assistants. You see, I want you to see just how juicy this is. That piece of meat. Let me. Yeah. Oh wait. Okay, I'm gonna put it down because we're gonna close this. But I will close with whether it's January, February, May, December. Yes. I'm here to tell you.
You're the marketing team.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Vovo Love, you got a job. When I blow up, hey, hit me up because you're going to be the pricer. In any case, whether it's whatever month of the year it is your relationship. You drive the train. You decide whether it's going to work or whether it's not going to work. You make the rules. You make my favorite word, the dynamics. It's all up to you. Because at the end of the day, it takes two to tango. You know what I'm saying? What'd you say? Yeah, I know, right? So you can do that with any of the meat that you talked about. You said you love to hear my... Well, one thing about it, if the saying that the way to a man's heart is to his stomach, honey, he ain't never going nowhere.
I ain't going nowhere.
Okay, so... And he going... But his... Youthful assistant said he's going to the refrigerator. He's going to the refrigerator. Anyway, y'all stop. Behave. Okay. Anyway, so as I said, do you, boo? But just be intentional. If you want it, you want something, you have to work at it for real. Now, to you, I'm going to say, hey, if you like this live broadcast coming to you from Flavor House Network, the Love Rhythm Recipe, hey, hit that like button. If you are not subscribed, hey, you don't want to miss this. You really don't, because we got so much more to show you. And if you are already subscribed, hey, hit that notification bell so you know when I'm coming at you. Oh, yeah. And I try to do it every week. I was telling my earlier people at my earlier show, I may not be here next week because I think I need to do some long form videos. But you knowing me, I'll show up for that. I'll show up anyway. But I'll let y'all know. So y'all look at that community tab. I'm going to have some good things coming at you. Oh, yeah. And I hope that each and every one of you have the relationships that you want in your life, whether they be romantic or otherwise. I want you to find your rhythm and dance, because here, Flavor House Network, we all about the flavor and we're all about the romance. I want to wish y'all a good evening. Have a great rest of your weekend. Have a wonderful week. And I wish you love, peace, and a whole lot of joy. Bye-bye. I'm going to eat. I can't wait. I can't wait because I'm going to eat. Bye, y'all.